back to another episode of Good Times Ahead. I'm your boy Nick Eustace, and this is my co-host Tanner Thompson. Today we have with us Alex Weiss, who is the owner of probably the coolest rink I've ever seen, the Rink of Dreams. So do you just want to go into what the Rink of Dreams is and who you are and how it started?
So my name's Alex Weiss, obviously.
Alex Weiss.
And the Rink of Dreams, it's at my family home. And what it is the best way to describe it is a passion project built between me and my dad and my family, where we moved into a home and the backyard was completely empty. Mm-hmm. And there was so much space. I mean, obviously you could do a pool, and we did a pool, and you do a sitting area, but there's so much space left over. It went back for a while.
Yeah.
And we said, let's do a hockey rink, and let's do a cool one where it's going to blow
Canadian's dream.
Everyone's dream. And it's funny that you say that, because if you ask my dad, why did we do it? He would say that when he was growing up, it was his dream to have a rink like that. And if you want to know a little bit about why did it come out that way, I would say the big influence is my dad. Mm-hmm. And he's the type of person where you can't tell him no. Mm-hmm. He has a big imagination. He's, you could say, a visionary or an entrepreneur in some ways to say it.
Yeah.
But if you tell him to build a rink, it's going to be different from anyone else's vision on how to build a rink. And he went from scratch. And that's the surface level where we wanted to build a rink, and it was his dream since he was a kid. Mm-hmm. And we built it, and it happened to come out cool.
It's incredible.
Thank you very much.
Even before we met, I saw it all.
Yeah. And
all
you know
over
what's
Instagram.
funny? Because you guys have never been.
Yeah.
So, and without coming off too cocky or anything like that, the number one comment that we get with the rink is that the pictures do not do it justice. Mm-hmm. When you walk out there and the music's going and the lighting is hitting, it's a crazy sight to see, and the pictures do not capture that.
Yeah.
You bought like different lights for different things, right? It's like St. Patrick's Day, you have green lights, like.
Okay, so the lighting is its own thing. The lighting is its
Yeah.
own thing. There's a lot of attention that went into the lighting, and actually, you know the club 44? The person who does the lighting for 44, and shout out Francesco, he's a beauty. He's one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. He does the rink. And that's the type of attention to detail.
Yeah.
When we built this thing, I mean, I could go on for a while about what type of attention we put into building the rink.
Well, it looks like a professionally done rink.
Yeah.
Like what we know when you have club
we
lighting
could say it
in
like
your
that.
rink
It's club lighting, and the lighting is really something. And we'll talk about this later on. But when Kyle from the Nauk Boys was out there, he said they were filming him on camera, and he said, "You've seen the pictures, but it's not like the pictures. It's way better." Mm-hmm. And that's like a lot to do with the lighting and the sound and everything like that.
Do you have a Zamboni?
We do have a Zamboni. Okay, the Zamboni could be its own topic.
Yeah.
Everyone, and it's the coolest ice, and it's the coolest music, and everyone's concerned with the Zamboni, which is funny because all it does is clean. Mm-hmm. So at the start, we had a John Deere. And that's how we cleaned it. And we would half hose it and half shave with the John Deere. And like as a fun side story for the rink, every summer we like to add something cool. We like to put on a new twist to it. Mm-hmm. So last summer we got the Zamboni.
That's a good addition.
It came from China. They call it the Bumblebee. That's the model. And it's the only one of its kind in Canada. And it's one of 4 in North America. And the other 2 are from the NHL for the Winter Classics. If you ever watched the NHL Winter Classic, we saw they had not a full-size Zamboni, a mini one, and it's a custom order. And these mini ones are really good for outdoors. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're made for. And they're built in a certain way where it looks like a Zamboni, and it is. But it's a little bit custom for an outdoor rink, especially since a big one, it's hard to do the turns.
Yeah.
It's all about the route and how quick you could do the ice. So yeah, the Zamboni was a custom one, and it took a while to come in. And a fun theme we could talk about with the rink is that I've mentioned my dad, and my dad loves it, and he loves to shock and to be innovative.
Yeah.
My mom loves it also, and she loves the social media side of it, but she doesn't love it as it's happening. Where when a Zamboni comes to the door, on a freight, and she opens the door, she didn't know it was coming that day.
Yeah.
It's like the last thing you
she starts
expect.
going crazy. Why is there a Zamboni in
It's
the
like a
front?
6-hour thing. Like,
Why is there a team of people unloading a Zamboni?
there goes my day.
That it's literally too heavy for the ground. It's, you know,
It's
a couple
just
thousand
sinking,
pounds.
yeah.
It was sinking into the tiles. She doesn't love it then.
Where do you store it?
She wasn't happy with it then.
Do you have like a garage for it?
That's
So that's another
understandable.
thing. So when I say we have attention to detail, we had to build a cabana, a shed, just for the Zamboni, and that shed had to be sloped so that the water from the Zamboni will drain.
That's
like all these
awesome.
things we had to think of before we got the Zamboni, right?
And is that you and
and
your
the shed has
dad?
to be heated and stuff, and there has to be water that runs through there to fill it up.
You don't just use a hose, right? Or how do you keep it cold?
Keep what cold?
The
The
rink.
rink.
Oh, so there's refrigeration.
Nice.
It's when we built it, and it was funny that cranes had to go over the house.
Holy shit.
For the logistics of this was crazy, but it's all refrigerated. It's set to a temperature. We play games with it depending on the day. And the main thing that we try to do is perfect arena quality, indoor quality ice.
Dude.
Outside.
How long did this take, the whole process of building the rink?
Many people it would take a long time, but my dad has a lot of experience in building.
Yeah.
And he's quick with it. And I believe it was a summer. It was a summer's worth. And when we renovated the whole house, when we moved in, so we had some people who were maybe they were there to do the floors, and they did the rink a little bit on the side, like
a little extra.
So, you know, it was while construction was happening, but it was a summer. It was a summer to build the rink, and you could say it's a work in progress. Also,
Yeah, you're adding every year,
There's more
right?
to come, yeah.
Yeah,
The little
there's more to
details,
come.
right? You can get creative
the
with
best
it.
is yet to come.
What's
and
the next big
Good
surprise?
times are ahead.
Oh,
Exactly, there you go.
Nice plug.
Yeah.
When did you know you're gonna like create like a brand or a landmark out of it, or start doing
Yeah.
social media?
Okay, so the funny thing is that we had it for 8 years with no social media.
Wow.
We never had those aspirations.
It was just a backyard rink.
It's a backyard, and every Friday I would have boys from my grade to come play. We had 3-on-3 tournaments.
That's awesome.
And we'd get shinny going, and life was good that way.
Yeah.
We were very happy with that, and you could say we're private people. I mean, maybe I'm coming off that I speak well. I don't know, to give myself a compliment, but I'm nervous to go on the podcast. It's my
Hey,
first
hey,
podcast.
nerve-wracking.
Totally understandable, man.
but
I'm
yeah,
still nervous.
But yeah, we're private people, and for many years it was private, and I'll tell the story of how it transitioned, and it wasn't by our own choosing. We didn't sit down and say, let's get this out there to the city, and we still were hesitant all the time for everything. Like, even for a celebrity who wants to come, we're like, we don't, you know, we kind of don't want that, the posting. But there is a time where I embraced it.
Yeah.
But to say where it started was during COVID. There was two things. One, everyone was at home on their phones all day long, right? Like social
of
media
time
was
scrolling through
You know,
Instagram.
everyone was scrolling through, and all the content creators needed content. So that was one thing that created a perfect storm. And the second was there was no rinks open in the city of Toronto,
Brutal.
in this country of Canada. There's no rinks. There's nowhere for you to skate. So one morning, and it was early COVID, my mom, who doesn't know Instagram at all, she doesn't know social media, she posted a picture of the rink. It happened that the snow hit and it looked nice.
really, yeah.
My parents wake up at 5 a.m. So they were up at 5, and she posted a picture of the rink with the lighting on it, and it looked nice. And she doesn't know social media, so she did hashtags. And someone picked it up on a hashtag, a Rink account.
Cool.
And because she did
Reposted
hashtag
it?
Rink, and they reposted it. Whatever, they had 1,000 followers or something. And then another account posted it, and then another. And it went, and by 10 o'clock, where I woke up at around 8 a.m., by 10, NHL was calling us. And Sportsnet had it out there, and TSN, and ESPN, and Budweiser, and any Canadian, Tim Hortons was messaging us.
Yeah.
Anyone that you could name that's in Canada and that knows about hockey was in my DMs, was in my mom's DMs, was reposting the rink, and then it was in a matter of a couple hours, it was out there.
Just spread like wildfire.
It spread like a wildfire.
Well,
yeah.
like for anyone listening out there, go look at this rink if you haven't seen it. It's literally every
It's called
Canadian's
the Rink of
dream.
Dreams, and search it up on Instagram, the Rink of Dreams.
It's awesome. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "Holy fuck! I can't believe." I didn't think it was a backyard.
It's a backyard.
Yeah.
So people don't know that. People,
I didn't think that when
we
I
don't
saw
have
it.
a good brand control, because people first think it's in Ottawa. It's not. It's in Toronto.
Yeah.
Because there's another Rink of Dreams or something sounding like that. Whatever.
Knockoff.
And people don't know what the deal is. So I get so many messages. They think it's public, and people just come to the backyard, and I'll show it to them and stuff. But sometimes, like, you know, in the middle of the night, people are coming to the backyard to skate and stuff. But yeah, it's a private backyard. And what happened was that it got so much attention and it got so much, everyone was talking about it, especially during COVID. We decided, and this was our foray into the public sphere, that we want to open up our backyard and our home to people, all different types of groups. Like a lot of people had mental health issues from COVID. So we would have boys teams, girls teams, figure skaters, mental health groups, everyone and anyone in the community that could feel empowered by skating and it would help them mentally or would help them in any other way to skate. We had them to skate.
That's awesome.
And from 8 a.m. to maybe nighttime, it was a full-time job having these people. We were having people come to skate.
Yeah.
And that started picking up, and like that's how we started getting into the public sphere.
Do you have to do like schedules? Like
we had a schedule, like it was crazy, and that's how we got the name, because a lot of people said it was a dream to come skate out there. It was a Canadian dream, and then BlogTO did a piece, and I think someone said to BlogTO, they made our dream come true by skating. And then they called it the Rink of Dreams.
That's so sick.
I never loved the name, the Rink of Dreams, but when you have a brand, you don't change the name.
No.
Like you guys can't change GTA to average times ahead one day. Like, so yeah, that was how the name started.
Rink
That
of
was the
Nightmares
story.
doesn't sound the same.
The Rink of anything. I mean, we always said there's a play because Weiss rhymes with ice.
Yeah.
That's tacky a little bit, you know?
Weiss is
Sometimes-
ice. Weiss is
Sometimes
ice.
you can be tacky, but Rink of Dreams that's flowed, and we have a brand. People heard of it and stuff like that.
Well, the brand, it works. Like it's very fitting.
Sure, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
do you ever turn anybody down that like DMs you and says, "Can I come play in your rink?" Like, how do you decide who gets to come? Like,
So that's a good question, actually, because in its heyday, like during the winter and in November and December,
you probably get
Like
so
so
many
many,
messages.
I clear out 300, and by that time, there's 300 more messages. It's by the hour.
God,
Yeah.
dude.
So half is a random element. Like sometimes a kid messages me and says, I'm in the neighborhood. Okay, you're coming. You know what I mean? It's harder when it's a kid not in the neighborhood, even though I'm equally inclined that, a little kid wants to come with their friends.
Yeah.
Because, if it rains for a second, it's hard. There's costs that go into accommodating this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's weather dependent sometimes. And, it's easy when you could just say, come for 10 minutes and come for 30 minutes. But we have people that were driving 5 hours, driving 6 hours. So the
flying
first
from Chicago too, right? Flying
Yeah,
from the States.
Chicago and Nova Scotia, you said?
Yeah. So
That's some committed hockey players right there.
Yeah, so that happened, but those are two examples. People were flying in from the States. People flew in from Miami.
That's wild.
We had Ryan Nelson, who's a reporter with ABC now,
Yeah.
and he's out in California. But when he was in Miami, he flew in to cover the rink and to share that story with ABC and everything. But yeah, there's some mileage for the rink. Like the city of Toronto should give us some credit that people are flying in for this stuff. But when you ask how do I decide who comes? It's a little bit of everything. Like we try to do local. Sometimes charities ask us. We'll do a charity event.
Nice.
And obviously like a celebrity and stuff. We like to do the celebrities too. Now we're gearing towards more private. Like again, we're private people, and it's mostly bookings where people pay, and we still do community stuff, and we try to keep the name Rink of Dreams alive, where we're still fulfilling dreams. But we're gearing more towards private bookings and private events that I do.
Nice. Well, that makes sense. Like as you said, or on the Instagram page, it's a landmark in the making.
Yeah.
So,
do you like that?
I did.
That's
I
the
did.
marketing side of me when I put that in.
I really did.
Yeah, we want it to be a landmark. We're very strategic people, I would say, and I get that from my dad and from my mom. And it's nice to do things for fun. And for me, fun is planning and saying how far can we plan ahead. And one of the things we sat down and said is, why shouldn't we be a thing where everyone in Toronto knows, like a landmark of Toronto?
And do you think there's one specific event that blew it up? Like I know from my perspective, seeing your tournament last year, I was like,
Okay,
oh my
I'll
God.
talk about the tournament.
Yeah. You had
But
some pretty big
quickly,
names there.
The things that blow it up is a big name to come.
Yeah.
Right? So, Breakfast Television, they opened in the morning. They had the crew there, and they presented the news in the morning from there. That's something that blows it up. The first big guest I think that we had was Pavel Barber.
What
he blew it
hands
up.
on that
But
guy.
I want to get back to the tournament. The hands of Pavel Barber are insane.
Yeah.
And
Oh
shout
my
out to
God.
him.
Yeah.
It was really funny. A funny story about Pavel is The first time he came, we needed a goalie, obviously, and I asked one of my buddies to come and go in net. And he loves Pavel. Like, obviously, we grew up watching Pavel on YouTube.
Yeah.
And what we didn't account for was that he went in net, Pavel lit him up, and he's a great goalie.
Yeah.
He's a great goalie. Pavel lit him up, embarrassed him, put him online every week,
just
and
gets
reel.
chirped.
And all the comments are saying, you play with garbage goalies. You play with the worst goalies of Toronto, and people call out Pavel for that. He's a good goalie. I wasn't scoring, but it was really funny. I'm always like in his ear a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny. You never take that into consideration.
You
like,
don't think about the
no.
goalie's feelings on Pavel, because Pavel was obliterating him.
Well, he has the puck on a string.
Yeah.
Dude.
You
And
can't
the
even
funny
see the
thing
puck.
about Pavel is when I met him, he's average size.
Yeah.
If you look at his shot, it's a good he's a great hockey player.
Yeah, super skilled.
And I play shinny with him a lot. His shot is like a normal person's shot. His height is a normal person's height. His skating is, he's a good skater. Like, I don't want to now degrade his skating, but a normal person skating. And the hands are at an NHL level, up there with Matthews, up there with Kane. And that's a weird sight to see.
Yeah.
Where you take someone isolated, the hands are unbelievable. And it shows you what it takes to get into the NHL.
Yeah.
That this is someone with one of those abilities. And he's great at other things, but the NHL hands.
It's I'd say it's similar to Zach Bell, the always hockey guy.
So he's come a ton of times too. You know what's funny that with Zach Bell, he was in the winter tournament. Always in his comments and in Pavel's comments, people tell them, do that in a game. Try to do that in a game. And I've seen with my own eyes Zach Bell do that in a game.
Yeah.
He takes that puck in the middle of a game and spins and moves and puts it in the
It's
net.
nasty.
It's quick. They're so quick with it. It's crazy how they can get to that level.
It's funny. The comments are always like, "Why isn't this guy in the NHL?" And again, you were saying like, there's more than just hands.
I know.
So,
it shows how much to get to the NHL, like the level you have to be at to get there.
The 1%,
skill wise,
man.
those guys are gross. If you were to
crazy.
put them in a shinny game,
Are your hands like that?
God no. No, I was more of a grinder than anything.
Well, I was
grinder with some skill.
Yeah,
But
I was never that high. I never played that in that high of a league. But you could say I was a two-way forward.
Yeah.
You're not gonna say I was a hands guy ever.
You're crashing the net
No,
pretty
I
hard,
was,
huh?
look, I had the greasiest goals you'll ever see, and I loved it that way.
they
But
look the same on the score sheet.
whenever I shinny with Zach Bell or with Pavel, it's so humbling that when they leave, I'm out there for 2 hours, 3 hours, up until 2 a.m. Practicing the stick handling, because my ego does not let me handle that.
Yeah.
They show me up way too much, and then I try to flip the stick. You know how they throw it and they flip it and they catch it?
Oh my God. It's crazy.
I don't understand how Zach Bell does some of his moves.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
He's very fast. at that.
Who is the best hockey player you've had at the rink?
Okay, it's a good question. We've had some NHL caliber guys. We had like Wyatt Johnston. If you know him, he's a Dallas prospect.
Did you have Akil Thomas? Was he there? Or no?
Maybe it could have been, but I wasn't there. Like,
Yeah.
I go to Miami a lot. In the winter, I like to be in Miami. Like sometimes the
Not a
rink
bad
lives
place to
on,
be.
even though I plan a lot of the stuff. Like credit to my mom, because she plans her own things too. Sometimes it's like there's two people running the rink.
Yeah.
Because it's me mostly, and a little bit of credit to my mom because she'll plan some stuff. But yeah, maybe him. Pavel's like up there. Honestly, he's a cool player to watch.
Yeah.
There's something to be said with it's half NHL size, right?
Yeah.
So whose skill is most? You're gonna see their skill come out most on the rink. Like if you brought like a Zach Hyman out there, great. Like the shot would be good, but mostly it's gonna be like someone like Pavel, someone with the hands.
Patty Kane, someone like that.
We were so close to having what's his name in Chicago? Kirby Dack.
Yeah,
He
I know
canceled the
Kirby
last
Dack,
second because
yeah.
the team had a practice or something like that. But we've had a lot of OHL guys, and they were great. And I had some shinnies with them, and they were just finding me over and over and over, and like I'm not at that level, but the best teammate I've ever played with, so I could say that.
Yeah.
We had Josh Rosenzweig, a goalie for in the OHL. He was really, really good. And then next winter we have committed, I don't want to say the names, but A-list NHL guys are coming.
Sick.
So that the answer will change to that
Yeah.
when they come to
Who's the
play.
best celebrity hockey player?
Some would say Trudeau because everyone knows Trudeau.
Yeah, he's actually good.
How
No,
did that happen? How did Trudeau end up at your rink?
You know what's funny with the Trudeau thing, and this is like the only time I've ever said this story. He didn't come for the rink. He came because we have a family friend that's a filmmaker, and he liked the house to do the shot, and we have some cool rooms in the house that are like conducive to a podcast and to filming, and that's a plug for you guys and for other podcasts. We do bookings. So yeah, he did the thing, and then he did a quick house tour, and he looked outside and he said, "What the hell is that outside?" And he ran out. And he liked it. He was drawn to it, but he went out to the rink, and this was a little bit like, it wasn't friendly. This wasn't a friendly thing. He took a marker on his own accord with the big Leafs logo at center ice and wrote, "Go Habs, go."
Oh, no
Arrogantly.
way.
And in a funny way, but I don't know how funny it was. Like, it was
You're not going to say anything like that.
Look, I'm not going to get in his ear, but people
the
roast him
Prime
in the
Minister
comments,
out of your
rightfully
backyard.
so. I didn't tell him, "Go Habs, go" on the rink.
Yeah.
He did that on his own accord. And
Permanent
he smirked
marker,
with it. And permanent marker, true. And yeah, he's a little bit of an arrogance with that. But it was nice to have him. And like, whether you agree with him or not, like, a lot of people gave us some flack for hosting him.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Prime Minister asks to come, like,
You're not going to say no.
I'm not going to say no. It doesn't mean I support him. Like, I'm not it's not an endorsement, right? Like,
He's actually good though. Like he could play.
he didn't strap up the skates.
okay.
He did not have
I
skates
would
on,
play
but
full contact.
a lot of people said
Just
in
let
the
him
comments
shoot up.
they love a nice full contact with him, and especially when he's on the boards like
Yeah.
that with his head down. And I do not disagree with those comments.
No ref, eh? No ref.
No ref. Like,
How about the Nut Boys? Are they any good?
okay, the Nelk is another story.
Yeah.
That's another big celebrity that we've had.
Yeah.
Back to the tournament, because I know Nelk boys were at the tournament.
So I'll explain the tournament.
Yeah.
We're going to
Yeah,
keep
go for it.
mentioning it.
Yeah.
It was a concept I created, and I called it the Canadian Classic.
Yeah.
And the concept was that first, people love hockey, and Canadian people love hockey, and Canadian influencers, and we could say influencers, but when I say that, content creators, prominent people, cool people, even with no followers, like this one guy, Jesse, not a lot of followers, really cool guy, right? Like, very connected in the hockey world. He was in the tournament. So the concept was, it's a unifier. We're going to bring people together, but especially on the social media side, because if one person posts, that's great. And you guys know, like, if I'll restory this, it will get out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, it will see to my base and your base. Like,
Yeah.
that's what a story is. But when you get everyone in one room, the big names, the small names, the niche names, in one area, in one event, all posting, all talking about it, all to raise money for charity,
It's a great
that's a
cause,
powerful thing.
yeah.
That's something that could just snowball and get crazy. So that was an idea I had in my head. So I ran it by Nelk. They were the first people I talked to, and they loved the rink. First, no one is more fired up. No one is a bigger supporter of this rink
Than the
Nelk
Nelk boys? That doesn't surprise
when they're
me
in
at all.
California, they're messaging me with rollerblades saying we're practicing for the rink, and it's July, and the whole team goes out to get rollerblades. They love the rink.
They're
Like,
so Canadian. It's
they're
fucking
so
amazing.
Canadian, and on their skill level, they're really, really good. So the first time they came, except Kyle, which will say Kyle's good. Kyle, he's better than me.
Yeah.
Like, he's good, but his boys are really good.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not a fair comparison to dog Kyle and say Kyle's not good, but his boys, like, they played a high level.
I can see them chirping, getting in your ear.
They chirp, but they're honestly
No,
like very, very nice
yeah,
guys. They
yeah,
chirp
yeah,
Kyle,
yeah.
honestly, like, they're
Yeah.
not chirping me. But it was funny with the first time they came, I was just having a normal shinny night with my friends. Like, it wasn't planned that they were going to be coming. I didn't, I liked them and stuff. I wouldn't have known that they were even in Toronto.
Yeah.
But we had the boys in 98, if you know them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they went to high school with Nelk.
Okay.
So
They're
what
all from Mississauga, all those guys, right?
Yeah. So what happened was they did a story, back to like how cool stories are on Instagram. They did a story at the rink, and it just looked cool. So Kyle just responds, like, "Can I come?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, I think that would be good. So they pulled up within the hour, and they came with his boys, and no cameras or anything. It wasn't for filming or for content.
Just to play some
And they
puck.
came to drink, and they smoked it, and they're exactly how they are on the camera.
Just having a good time.
Yeah, is how they are, like, without the camera. Like,
Yeah.
they're good vibes. They came, and we just ran shinny. We ran it for 4 hours in threes, and I think we did 6 in the middles. We made threes. We didn't talk about YouTube at all. We didn't talk about whatever. I think the only thing he mentioned was, like, at the time he met Trump for the first time.
Yeah.
That it was coming off of that. So I was like, how's the
pretty
president?
sick.
Oh, the
Yeah.
president's great. I think maybe he was president at the time even.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, president's good. He sends his regard. Try to get me the puck in the corner next time, like, if you can.
Yeah.
You missed me backdoor.
So yeah, where did this start? Where did this question start with?
Just the tournament. So
Yeah, so one of the first people I reached out to was Nelk,
Mm-hmm.
and what happened was it's created like such a snowball thing where everyone wanted to be a part of it. And then Canadian Party Life messaged me, or I always talk to them like through the rink and stuff. And they're also the nicest people. A cool thing about the rink, I meet the coolest people.
Yeah.
It's a networking thing. It's such a cool networker. So the Canadian Party Life guys, the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. You wouldn't imagine that.
Yeah.
From, their content is wild and rowdy. No, wholesome, nice guys who
Where
I
did
think
they go to school? Sorry to interrupt.
I don't even know offhand. Like,
I always wondered that.
I feel
when
like that's going to
happens.
be a big tilt, like for the Canadian Party Life fans, which school they went to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if I'd reveal that, but I don't know.
Probably multiple.
But very nice guys, and then they wanted to get involved, and then Six Buzz wanted to get involved, and 905, obviously, who we know and love. Shout out to 905.
Shout out
I wanna
90.
give him a
Shout
lot
out
of love.
90.
905 is really such a nice
He
guy.
is.
And you think he's so big and he's all these things. He's literally like, to me, he's like a friend. Like we talk like he's a friend. He's like one of the few people where it's like, let's say it's transcended influencer status and we're friends.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, he got involved. Josh Richards, I was going on and off with his team and stuff, and they were like, he loves hockey. He plays hockey all the time. We throw him in the tournament, and it turned out to be such a big tournament. And Pavel Barber, Zach Bell, all the hockey guys. I'm going to be forgetting so many people. I'm not that quick, like thinking, especially when I'm speaking. But on a social media standpoint, I think the Rink of Dreams had 1 million to 2 million impressions, like if
Holy
you look
fuck.
at the analytics, and this is like for a Toronto based thing, like
That's a lot.
a lot of cool LA names were like the big influencers in LA were hitting it up and viewing the stories and stuff like that. Obviously it came from Nelk or from Richards and stuff. Like it was cool, like to see how numbers can go crazy like that, just gangbusters. Like I think we gained X amount of followers. It was in the 10,000s or something.
That's wild.
And all in one day, all within a couple hours. But the impressions were really cool. The stories views, I think it was like 500,000 story views. Everyone was clicking on. Everyone wanted to watch. We didn't even stream it. We should have streamed it.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. But it was good for everyone. It brought everyone together. So it was obviously good for the Rink of Dreams. But it's cool to see Nelk and Six Buzz work together. Like a lot of people like both of those people. And then Kyle was on the Six Buzz story saying like, "There's no puck in Rexdale."
Yeah, I saw- I
that was
remember
funny.
that, yeah.
But I like to be unifier. I like to bring people together.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the photographers I worked with for the event who captured it, they are now working together, and they just did really cool stuff with Metro, the one in Montreal, Metro, whatever it's called. And they met at my tournament and stuff like that. So it's cool. I love to be unifier. I love to bring people together.
The landmark
Yeah.
everyone meets at.
It's a landmark. That's what they say.
It's such a good idea. Again, just being Canadians. Like I love going out playing shinny. You meet some random guys there, end up crushing beers and playing for like 3-4 hours.
That's hockey brings people together.
It's just such a fun time.
When BlogTO came and they were interviewing they were going to do an article, and they've done a couple of them. They asked, capture the rink in a sentence or 2 sentences. And what I answered was, it captures the beauty of Canada because the backdrop is a forest, right?
Yeah.
And that's like the Canadian wilderness, the Canadian experience. Outdoor hockey also is the Canadian experience. Like it doesn't, when you think about Canada, like close your eyes and think about Canada, hot chocolate, playing hockey outdoors on a Saturday night,
Crushing
and
a few
Leafs
beers.
Habs playing. It just so happens it's a lot about sports.
Yeah.
Canadian nationality is very tied with sports. Like in the U.S., like baseball is their game, and they love football. But when you think about the U.S. culture, there's a lot of non-sports stuff, political stuff, and free rights and civil liberties, and you could get into a lot of political stuff with the U.S. But it's weird when you think about Canada you're literally just
hockey.
thinking about hockey and stuff like that.
Igloos.
So what I said to
Riding polar
BlogTO
bears
was
is cool.
this one area, this one little pocket in Toronto, it kind of captures the beauty of hockey, like the beauty of Canada, right?
Yep.
So it's amazing how sports can bring people together too.
Yeah.
Unless you have
That's what sports is supposed to be about.
Unless you have a hardo. But you don't want like a super competitive guy where it's like,
listen, we've had that. We've had people
where you're like, okay.
In high school we used to have I played on a hockey team, and a lot of the guys from my high school played on the same team, and it was just select. It was nothing crazy. And there's another team where a lot of the guys, in the same high school also played on that team. And when we would play each other,
So
it was a rivalry
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
And then after the game, we'd play on the rink. Or
Oh
on the weekend,
God.
we'd play on the rink. And there's no refs out there. And we had a little bit of roughness. We had one guy get a puck straight to the face. You know, in shinny, you don't raise the puck or whatever lightly. But straight, like a
No
straight
tillies, though?
wrist
Have you-
shot.
No drop
Not
of gloves?
Have you ever had any tillies on the rink or?
Well, at the winter tournament, we had the goalies fight, but it was
way.
friendly.
Yeah. Just for content.
Yeah, for the they're the Gerlachs, it's brothers, and they're always the goalies. We always have two goalies, and they're great goalies. So for content, but these people don't care about the content.
No.
I think they were just two brothers fighting like for fun, a little bit fun, a little bit like they both wanted to be on Nelk's team, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the gloves were dropped. Like it wasn't planned or anything.
It's smart to have two goalies on lock though, because like the problem for Shinny is like
I have an
ever
Excel
comes.
on my computer of a lot of goalies.
Yeah.
No one could get goalies like me because the goalies love to play
Yeah.
at the rink.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll throw up a story. Any goalies like want to come, I'll get 10
Tons of
goalies.
response.
Give love to the goalies, man.
If you're coming to skate at the rink, there's two goalies there and maybe a third ready.
Just in case.
This is how I run it there. We have it organized like that.
Smart though. Give love
Well,
to the goalies. They'll keep coming.
Because
It's
that's the
brutal.
experience. You want a goalie, right?
You
When
can't
you're
go
playing
like
wanna
shitty
be
with
shooting.
just a
You don't wanna-
post, I hate. I mean,
It's whatever.
It's
but yeah.
whatever, but it's so much fun when
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
actually get to shoot on a goalie.
Yeah.
Now
When
you're
I-
trying to grow the brand a little bit right now. You're trying to go into different things. So maybe go into what you want to do next.
So yeah, we're trying to grow the brand, but we have feel accomplished that we got it out there a lot. We're not trying to be bigger than it is. Like we're not trying to do crazy stuff out there, but we like it. Like we just want to. I think most of the like at the end of the day, we want to be known in Toronto. We want to start making doing bookings and rentals and stuff like that, and that's what we're getting into, and make it a little bit profitable, and like you keep the other stuff also. And otherwise, I would say a good word to put it, if I have to give a State of the Union for the future of the Rink of Dreams, adventurous.
Yeah.
Bold, imaginative. We like to have an open mind, where I feel like a lot of people in Canada are very complacent.
Yeah.
You never see people doing cool stuff. And you know what I mean? Like
You could see that
we're a
during the-
backyard. Like who are we? But we're trying to make something. We're trying to do cool stuff. Like the winter tournament, I just tried. I was just trying to do something that changes the game a
Something
little
different.
bit and changes the influencer world a little bit. And we're open to doing more of that stuff. We're always, like I said, like we have a lot of stuff booked for the winter, which I'm not going to say, but A-list. If I ask you to name top 3 NHL players, one of them is coming for sure.
Cool.
Plus a ton of other NHLers. And I was going to say, bring some of your buddies.
Yeah.
Like, you guys get
We
some
will,
NHLers.
we will.
I always want, it's cool to have some NHL guys.
Yeah.
Bar Down, they come a lot. Bar Down's
Nice.
a big friend of the rink.
Yeah.
Like, they do content and stuff. And they were supposed to do with Aho.
Oh, Sebastian
Carolina.
Aho, yeah.
These silly things get in the way of it. But, yeah, the future's...
The future's bright.
Good
Just have
times
an
ahead.
NHL game on your rink.
Great
We can all
times
just
ahead.
watch. It'd be
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah, you should just
Yeah,
have
well-
a full-on all-star game.
That-
Just to,
So NHL,
private all-star game.
NHL, when they got wind of this, they were so intrigued with the rink. They flew in from New York, the New York office. They flew into Toronto just to see it, and they want to do a lot of events with us. And that I also keep locked. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. And if anyone watching this podcast wants to do something cool, you don't have to have followers. Pitch me cool things. I'm always open for something cool.
Cool.
But the next cool thing, which we could get into,
Yeah.
is the basketball tournament. And this is
Yeah.
going to be, the rink is not only hockey. We have a lot of figure skaters. I told you we're going to do lacrosse. There's a promise I made to you before.
yeah.
We're going to get into lacrosse. It's on Tanner's shoulders to grow lacrosse in
Let's
Canada.
go,
I got it, man. I got it.
The
I
Rink
got
of
it.
Dreams is going to help.
oh my.
But the next one is basketball.
Yeah.
And we're planning a big basketball tournament. And that's partly why I'm here. I want to talk about it and get the name out there. It's also going to be called the Canadian Classic.
I
But
like that.
summer.
I like that.
Okay, there's something about Canadian Classic that just flows, Like
Yep.
Yeah.
it's Canadian and whatever.
Basketball
But
did start in Canada.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
James
what I'm
Naismith,
saying. We're
1998.
playing Canadians playing a
1998.
game invented in Canada to bring people together in Canada.
A
And
little bit of competitiveness.
originally it was supposed to be on Canada Day, but now it's going to be later than
Yeah.
that. It's not going to be then. But yeah.
I was just
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, do you want to go into more
Yeah,
get into
I'll talk about it. So it's the same concept as the winter tournament, where we want to have Canadian people, bring them together. First, we want to give people who are fans of a lot of these influencers a reason to be proud of Canada. Like, in a way, it kind of gives you a little bit of pride. Like, you guys are going to be there, I hope.
Well, if we're invited,
you're invited, you're going to be there. But your listeners, like, who like you guys and watch your stuff, and they take pride when they see you guys doing cool things. Like, I know, like, when I'm a fan of something, like a podcast and stuff, like, I think it's cool when I started watching them when they didn't have a lot of followers and stuff, and then you see them get put on and get cool things with the Nelk Boys and stuff. So Nelk, we're hoping, is going to be there. They were at the winter one. They'll be there. Yeah. They'll be there. Hopefully they're good at basketball. We'll see.
I'm sure they'll have a good time regardless.
But the cool thing is to bring Canadian people together, to have everyone, the fans it's going to be cool to watch this stuff. Like, to watch and see, like, it'll be cool to see Kyle going up against, like, maybe Tristan Thompson. Maybe Josh Richards gets absolutely dunked on by Tristan Thompson, or
just goes viral.
Nav versus, like, Killy or something like that. But it will be teams, and it will be streamed, and we want to, have everyone watch the stream, and it will also be for charity in a big way. But it will be cool. We've got to bring Canadian people together. There will be Americans, like a lot of big of the American influencers and the American basketball people are going to be flying in and just for the tournament. But it's a Canadian idea, right?
I love that. And as you were saying before, like, I find, like, the content creation in Canada is not nearly on the same level as, like,
let's try to get
States.
Canada a little bit like the States, and not in the bad ways.
No.
Like, our schools are very safe. We don't need to mimic the States on every little thing.
No.
We also don't have a lot of hate in our politics. Our politics is very nice. But on the creation side of things, on the exploration side, America has these ideals that you go and you explore and you manifest destiny. See, now I study political science, and you can't get into it.
Destiny.
Where's the Canadian dream? Let's start building up Canadian influencers and Canadian ideas. It's not influencers, it's Canadian ideas. If you have an idea, if you're like a kid, you want to be the leading name in whatever. Like, we call it influencers because the world works on social media, but, like, I don't, like, are you guys influencers? I don't know what you call it. I just say it as an umbrella
we're just
term.
here talking.
I call us two idiots having fun.
Let's build everyone up. Let's have, especially since social media, everyone can help each other. If I do a story on you guys do a story on me. Who gains? We both gain, right? That's the bedrock of the tournament. Everyone's gaining. Right, obviously the big dogs, like, are gonna help a lot. The smaller dogs a lot more, but the big dogs have a little obligation to help other Canadians. At one point they were small too, so everyone's going to be coming out good from the tournament. Everyone's going to be celebrating Canada and celebrating, Canadian influencers and Canadian creation. And it's fun. We're going to be playing basketball and having a good time. And it's going to be for a good cause, like for charity.
It's such a good idea, man. Like, honestly.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Who's streaming it again?
Okay, the streaming, we're going to come out at a later date officially, but I should say I'm doing it with Six Buzz. Okay. So it's me and Six Buzz joint, and a big reason why I'm partnering with Six Buzz is because they're all about exploration. Like, we the same mindset, kind of. They want to do cool stuff. Dream big, as they say. At one point when I had the prom at the rink, like, for my school. I got into the biggest fight with my mom because she wanted to put, and I don't know if I could explain this, in the pool, we printed out huge letters that go in the pool and spell something. And it's really cool. Yeah. It's more that you kind of have to see a picture. But she, on her own accord, without telling anyone, she printed in the pool, dream big. And I'm like, just say prom. Like, you don't need to make this inspirational. But whatever. We're all about dreaming big, basically, now that we can go back and laugh on it. Dream big.
At the time, you weren't laughing.
I'm like, my whole grade's coming. We have to put dream big in the pool. Like, I don't know what the point of that is. Like, she likes to work on her own sometimes. It's funny. We have a TikTok for the Rink of Dreams. It has almost 30,000 followers on it. And it's 30,000 without trying to promote. We don't promote it. We do a cool TikTok if there's a cool shot. I don't post every day. I post every month. And the people who do TikTok that say this is how you do it and how you grow, they say so every much day, content. 10 times a day. I don't do that. And I don't want to bombard people's feeds, I don't like to be annoying. I don't care if I'd rather have 30,000 followers and I post cool stuff and it's nice than 100,000 or a million and we're posting the dumbest stuff and cringiest, and then it's like you point like like, you know how they point to the text, like cool things about the summer.
Yeah.
That could be a break. That could be me. It's never going to be me. So we try to just
You're not going to be out there doing dances on TikTok?
With like the most annoying song in the background, like she's my best friend. And then, you know what I mean? I don't need to get into that content, but it's really funny on the TikTok. Because my mom also is logged in, and sometimes she'll just, I'm sleeping, she'll just go and post a TikTok on her own. So it's funny for the followers to see who's posting it, me or my mom. And when it's me, you have Nav as the background song, or you have like Lil TJ as the background song, and then it's something really dope and the lighting is cool or whatever. And when it's my mom, it's cool in her own way, but it's a mom. And there's a bunch of stickers. You know how the people, the older people, they like to put stickers on things like good morning, sun's out. All these stickers are on her TikToks, but it's funny, her TikToks do better than mine. She posts a TikTok, it gets 1 million hits, and she posts it, and we'll get into a little argument and be like, I'm like, why do you have to post a TikTok that literally looks like it's like a Facebook boomer meme or whatever? And then she's like, but look at the views, and all of a sudden it's at 1.5 million. So
you're like, all right, well, I guess
it's funny for the people who follow us. They always say this was the mom, this was Alex. Like, you could tell it's a funny contrast.
I'm gonna start guessing too. That's gonna be
start guessing. Follow it and start guessing.
I will.
I'll just DM you and I'll be like, you? Question mark?
You're just wrong every time.
Yeah, the summer one's gonna be big though. It's gonna be big. People are flying in for it. Like, it's gonna be a wild one.
How did you and Six Buzz get in contact? Just from the winter one?
The winter one. I think they messaged me at some point and they were like, they didn't even have anything in mind, but I don't have anything in mind. I don't need things from people. I like to be adventurous and have like, this is a cool thing. If it's not this, it'll be something else. So I spoke to the guy, and he's a really cool guy. Like, he's one of the coolest people I know. And he's down to earth.
I'm excited to see like
you gotta see
who's behind.
I'm not gonna say.
No, we don't want to say, but for my own.
But he's like, maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll do that, maybe we'll do this, and we're dropping the coolest things. Maybe we'll do something with Drake. Maybe we'll do something with Bieber on the weekend. And you know what I mean? And I'm like, all of those sound great. We'll do all of them.
You should do a Tim Biebs commercial where Biebs drives a Zamboni around.
Honestly, well, honestly, we tried to get Justin Bieber. We were actually so close to having Bieber come skate.
Cool.
We were within like an hour or two. It started raining and stuff. Otherwise, he was gonna come.
Well, he looks like he's pretty skilled on.
He's a hockey guy, so I'm putting out the message to Justin Bieber: you got to come skate next winter.
I was supposed to go to the concert last night, and he canceled on us. But I was supposed to go to the concert 2 days ago, but he canceled.
Get well, Justin. Get well,
buddy.
Yeah, we were so close to having him, and we're gonna have him.
Yeah.
So you want to hear something funny? And like, I'm not a big into the manifesting and stuff like that, and the stars, and you know how people get very into that.
Manifest your dreams.
It's mostly the girls, but they love that stuff. Sometimes it's nice to write down goals and stuff. And in September, like the last September, I wrote down, who do I want on the rink this year? Like, just personally, not to gain and stuff. Who would be cool to play hockey with? I wrote down Kyle, Josh Richards, Barber, Zach Bell. He had never been at that point. All these cool people, not even like the celebrities, but also just cool people I found cool and stuff. Content. And they all hit except Justin Bieber.
You just gotta have that circled. What's the dream board or whatever it is? Vision board?
So at this point, it's all on Justin Bieber. That we got to get him out. I want to play with him.
If you get Austin Matthews, you should get Justin Bieber too, though. So that's another way.
I know.
If you get Bieber, you get Matthews.
Bieber, you get Matthews.
Vice versa.
We'll see. It's one of the two. I always say that I should go through Kyle, because Kyle I've always liked to Kyle like in a nice way. Like, maybe like Matthews comes out like for Shinny like tonight or something like that, and he'll talk to him. He'll message him and stuff like that. But
that'd be wild. Him going out, I would just love to see a shot.
Who'd be wild? Marner too.
Because
that's a perfect ice for him. Not the playoffs, but the Rink of Dreams would be good.
Beer league.
You'd be great on the Rink of Dreams. Not against
no contact.
Tampa Bay was out there.
No contact.
But if it was no contact and just tricks and stuff, he'd be really good.
I'd be interested to see like if they could do anything.
My luck,
tricks wise. Like
my luck, this will get out to Marner now, and
I'm never coming.
I love Marner. Marner, I like him. I'm a fan.
Yeah. Who would be your dream like 3-on-3?
Okay, it's cool to say that. I should have mentioned this before. That's another way that the first tournament started. You know how sometimes accounts will post like a, I don't know how to explain it. Like, first there's a post that will be like, what's the best college dorm to be in? And like Barstool will post it, and it'll be like Travis Scott, like the Kardashian, and like Justin Bieber, something like that.
Yeah.
So there's sports variations of that. Who's like your cool celebrity line? And I'm like, why don't I just create this in real life? That's how I did the winter one.
That'd be cool.
So it's funny that you asked that, and I didn't even remember that. That just brought me back to my memory from the last winter. So who would be my coolest line like to play with out on the rink? I have to have someone on the Leafs. Yeah. And I think it would be Matthews.
That'd be nasty.
And I could feed him. I would get, like, I'm also going to get strategic because I like to win, right? Like, I want to be strategic. Matthews is used to a Jewish guy from Chat, that's my high school, feeding him because he used to play with Hyman. And Hyman went to my high school. So there's a little bit of chemistry to be unlocked there. I think me and Matthews will, it's something in the air. Should I say, I could go total cop out, say Marner, basically just putting myself on the Leafs line.
You are Hyman.
No, I am. In many ways, I am Hyman.
Bunting, a combination of Hyman and Bunting.
Hyman is the OG Bunting, right?
It is.
So maybe I'm next. Like if I train a lot this summer,
you just need Pavel to train
starts asking for a lot. Like he's like Calder nominated. I don't know. Maybe he's at the door. I don't know if we could afford him, and I'm next on that line. Like that's how I used to play, right? Here's a funny question for you guys. What do you think? And keep in mind, like I'm average players. If I played with Matthews and Marner, what would my points be like on the year? I think at least,
good question, actually.
Between those two, I think I'm getting at least like 10 points in a season.
I was gonna say 10.
Like
I'll give you close to 20. You just need secondary assists,
right? Like look at Hyman's goals.
You could literally just pass the puck to Marner and get off the ice, and you have a point.
I know, like my plus minus could be insane, right? Like But
I would say 10 for sure, just based off like you being in front of the net, just like rebounds, secondary assists, all that sort of shit.
But we're gonna do another winter tournament next year. It's gonna be every year, and that's the brand. Cool thing. The brand is called Canadian Classic at the Rink of Dreams. But next year, is it like, could you imagine? Because I'll show people last year and be like, this was like, it was planned in 1 week or in 2 weeks with Nelk, Six Buzz, Canadian Party Life, all the top hockey people, like the Pavel Barbers, Bar Down was there. I didn't even mention them, TSN. Like,
next year,
even Sportsnet and stuff.
You could just be like, oh, look, Nelk was there.
I know, if I start planning it now, like next year, it's going to be a really big event. But this basketball one also, which I'm planning well in advance, it's going to be the talk of Toronto that day. Everyone cool is going to be there.
It's going to be
like
awesome,
even non-hockey players, I mean non-basketball and non-hockey, but like Penny Lexiak, the swimmer and stuff. She was at the winter one, and
what an athlete,
follows us. Corey Connors, the golf guy.
You guys are big into golf, eh?
Man, I love it.
He came 5th at the Masters. Like I want it to be just cool Toronto Canadian people and stuff like that. Like,
are you gonna go to the Open?
Maybe.
Going all 4 days.
You're going all 4. Yeah, I want to go. But let alone the Open, I gotta start playing golf more. I barely play these days.
It's tough, man.
I gotta get out there.
It's tough to find time. It's 4 hours a day. Like, I know, it's fucking crazy.
I know, especially since I'm having a big issue with my driver.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I've never had issues like this in life before. I just played in Florida, and I left my driver at home out of spite, and I played one of the best rounds I've ever played.
Just all irons off the tee.
Didn't lose a ball,
hybrids, like whatever. I was great. Like fine, I lost a little bit of distance, but at least it was straight. My driver is a bomb you've never seen, and it's like 200 yards completely left. Before we even start talking distance, it's that far left.
I go right. I literally have to aim my feet like into the other fairway.
You know when I go right? When I try to aim, like I go left, so I'll aim right, and it should go straight, but then it actually goes way right. So that's
then you're
great.
Thinking about it. You're thinking differently.
Yeah, so maybe I could get some professional help like that. But it's gonna be a lot of cool people at the basketball one, and the streaming is gonna be great. Like we're gonna have top personalities and stuff. Like if you guys watch Big Brother, do you know Moose?
My dad loves it. Yeah,
Moose is like also a great guy I met through the rink. He's going to be on the mic for the stream and stuff. He's going to be commentating stuff. But yeah, the basketball will be wild. We're going to have NBA guys.
Are you going to play?
I'm out of my zone for that.
Yeah.
Like
you're hosting.
The Scarborough Shooting Stars also, that's going to be one team. Like they're good.
Yeah.
Like, what level are they? They're beyond
they're
my
pro,
level.
Yeah.
They're pro.
I like to say I call it Jewish basketball. I play on, or we could also call it hockey basketball. I play on Saturdays on the rink with my friends. None of us are good, and the reason I call it like Jewish hockey basketball, it's because I'm taking something else that's mainly what I am, and like then you add basketball secondary. Hockey, I literally will dump and chase. Like I throw that ball against the boards and stuff. It's like literally such a disgrace of basketball. And like Jewish basketball, we say it's just because it's all my friends. Like I went to a Jewish high school and stuff, and we play basketball and we're good and stuff. But
then you play someone who
we're not good for people who play basketball.
Yeah,
like we're good for our immediate circle, and you put that in a microscope and you don't show anyone else.
Is there a prize for the winner? Can you say that yet?
Yeah. It's gonna be. Well, I don't want to say the number it is right now. Right now, I think it's 10,000. But
cool.
Why would I say it now? Because then it's gonna get way bigger.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Why not? We're looking ahead.
Is there an early on favorite? Scarborough Stars, I'm guessing.
And early on. Okay, well, so Six Bus came to the winter one, and they got dusted. They got dusted in a bad way, in a very bad way, to a point where. Because they don't know how to skate. They're great guys. The energy was great.
The one Kyle line is all time.
Skill was great. And the hockey was not there. And as testament to that, when they showed up to the tournament, they just came with skates fresh out of the box. The first they hit, hockey life, got the skates, and then came to the tournament. This was literally like we had to lace up their skates and stuff. Yeah. So whatever. Six Buzz was great attitude for that. But as competitive people, like I'm competitive. If I get dusted, they were telling me, they've been in my DMs, like the people that they brought, like, do you know K Showtime?
Yeah.
He's a great basketball, unbelievable. I think he's signed by Drake even, and Drake is another name to watch out for the basketball tournament.
Fingers crossed.
But K Showtime, he came to the winter one, and you know what I mean, like. That's not a sport. But then when they found out that there's going to be a basketball one, they've been in my DMs saying, just wait. Like,
basketball's definitely more like welcoming.
Like, you know what happened to us in the winter one? Just wait for basketball. They're out for blood, like full send. I don't know what they're in for.
Kyle's going to get dunked on.
They're going to run it because they have a vengeance. And I like it. Like
You're going to have viral clips of just the Nelk boys getting dunked on.
That would be insane.
I know. I was saying I got to weight the nets. Like I got to get these nets weighted down, especially if we have NBA net. Like a Tristan Thompson and stuff.
Someone just shacks the backboard.
Yeah.
Maybe a backup net.
I would say if you ask who the favorite is, whoever was good at the winter one, Josh Richards, Full Send, Zach Bell, and those guys.
They're favorite.
The last. They're the underdogs for a reason, and it's personal. And you know what? Six Buzz has a chance to take it all because they have a vengeance, right? Like.
I feel like they're gonna bring in ringers too.
They're gonna bring Six Bus gets in people's ears and stuff, and they're gonna take it very seriously. Yeah,
that's gonna be awesome to see though. Just in general.
Well, you guys have to come. I want you there.
We'll be there.
We're gonna have people like. I don't know what your category is. Like, what do you say you guys are? Lifestyle and stuff, or just conversation,
lifestyle,
whatever. So that's one. I don't want to have a lot of people like that there, but I want beauty. I want finance. Like we had a lot of cool finance accounts come to the rink. I want athletes, celebrities, some people who are just cool people in Toronto, like they own a cool spot at like a cool club and stuff. Like we're gonna have some of the club people out. Any ideas, any people that I'm open to it. It's a unifier. We're going to bring people together. Bring lacrosse people if you want.
Yeah, you got the good idea.
That's something we can relate to. Like just the podcast, how we started in general is we just wanted to kind of like bring people together because during the pandemic, like people were struggling mentally.
Yeah.
And
I know all about that.
Yeah.
I know because we opened our doors at the start of the pandemic and we were acting as the Rink of Canada.
Yeah.
Like we were out of pocket. Like there's maintenance. First, there's time.
Yeah.
Second, there's like hospitality. My mom made hot chocolate for each person that came and snacks and food and dinners for everyone that came. But there's also costs to do the rink and there's, what I mean? And we were having everyone for mental health.
But during that time, like January, as you were saying, everything was locked down. So that would have meant the world to some people.
Yeah. Like we tried to have everyone out there. We had like a blind boys league. We had the little girls leagues who they just wanted to be with their friends, which not as pressing, but it's pressing because that's a mental health thing for like little kids. They didn't know how to handle that, to be stuck inside all day.
They probably haven't seen people.
We did a lot of like charities with like cancer. They do, patients and stuff like that to bring them out for a skate and things like that.
Is that something that your dad's passed, like your parents have passed on to you?
Yeah, they pass it on to me, but I like the clout also. Like I like to dog myself. Like just that was a slam dunk answer to be like I love charity. No, I like clout and I like cool people and I like materialistic things.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They pass it down to me like a little bit, but yeah, I'd say like it's a lot from my mom. See, I've been a little hard on her this podcast, so this will be my redeeming thing. My mom,
your mom's an angel. Sounds
my
like
mom is a driving
hot chocolates
force
for everyone.
She's the nice one that wants to have the whole community.
Yeah,
and you know what?
People you have to shut it down. You're like,
I had to shut it down a little bit because she was overbooking. People started learning. They messaged the Rink account. I get hundreds of messages. That's not vindictive. I just couldn't get back to them like everyone. They messaged me. When you message me, like I'll get it done most of the time. But then they messaged my mom. And then my mom gets it. Everyone who messaged her, she brought out to the Rink. Or she tried to. Even people who are flying in from different places. People who drove 3 or 4 hours and stuff like that.
I want to talk about that. How did you end up flying in the kid from Chicago? And
okay, well, the Chicago one, and this is like, it's more a question for my mom, but we have fans. We have some people, believe it or not, to me, that's crazy.
Rink of Dreams.
It's like an entity on its own, but it has its own little brand. So it has fans, and then there's, I forget, it was a kid in Chicago who said that was their dream. Like they follow the Rink of Dreams, the TikToks, the videos. They want the Rink of Dreams. And I was like, you want it when Nelk's there? They're like, no, we want to come see the Rink on its own. Rink, yeah. So they flew in and we did that. We had people from everywhere like to come. Cool. And we have people that like the Rink and they always like to see what we're up to and what we're adding. Sick. We have a big addition that we're adding. Next year. Well,
can you talk about it?
Maybe let's keep it a secret. A what?
Like a bar.
Okay, well, that's going to be for the tournament. Yeah. The tournament's going to be a total open bar, but not only an open bar.
Oh my God.
Six Bus has something called the Hive Club.
Oh, yeah. I know what I
don't even know roughly what
I've seen them post about it.
But they tent out an area, and it's like a club. Outdoors, and they did it at Metro, and they're doing it. Oh, it's a total fireworks. It's going to be the whole show.
Shit.
The winner, when the winner wins, the fireworks are going to go off. It's a total pimping out of the backyard. I like going all out.
Are you going to have a DJ?
Way I go. DJ, we're gonna have the top DJs of Toronto. We want to have
Drake's gonna have a surprise performance.
Yeah, we want to have Loud Luxury be doing the DJing. Like it's gonna be. Yeah, we already have a lot of DJs lined up, but there's going to be like a club section. And a cool thing of that is like, imagine you hit a game-winning shot and then
go straight to
high step over the rink, over the boards, into the tent of the club, and you're at the club. That's every basketball player's dream.
Bottle service or what?
Bottle service and everything like that. I think that's what's going to be the Hive Club, like the bottle service. But
that's wild.
That's one section of it. It's going to be a lot of sections. The backyard is going to be insane. It's going to be hundreds of people there, but hopefully thousands of people on the live stream.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's fucking insane, man.
I know. It's a cool concept. Like,
do you get like saying like if they want to do the club or whatever, can you say like no or like not here or?
Of course I can say. Okay. Of course I can say. It's my backyard, obviously, and it's my project. Like it's my tournament. Yeah. But Six Buzz are great people to work with. Yeah. First, they're nice people, but they're smart. Mm-hmm. I find them to be very smart.
It's incredible how they've grown that platform.
Look at how they've grown. Look at what they've done. They know that, like a lot of people I find when you work with, because I've talked to everyone. We've had Apple rent the Rink.
Really?
We've had Apple came out. Apple California, not Apple Canada. Apple California. We've had Swatch. We've had huge brands. Like that's another thing we haven't even gotten into.
The corporate side.
The corporate side behind this Rink, because all the sponsors on the boards, there's agreements in place with all of them. But like Heinz. President of Heinz came personally to come see it and to have their logo on the boards and everything. It's a great networking thing with this Rink, but what was the question you just asked before that was leading up to it?
I have fucking no idea. That's insane. I didn't even think about the corporate side of it.
Yes, the corporate side is big, and there's a lot of things that go on like behind the scenes with it.
Are you gonna have sponsors for the tournament?
Yeah, it's gonna be funded through sponsors. Mm-hmm. Right, so
can you say who or
sponsors? Not right now.
Yeah, okay.
I won't say right now. Okay. But we're gonna they're gonna promote it. Like the winter one, Maker Pizza was a great sponsor, and this app. I'll say the app was great. Bounce app.
Oh, I saw.
Bounce is a great sponsor, and it's a cool app and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maker, I love.
Yeah,
I love Maker Pizza.
How about like filmography? You know, like get a drone or like a whole thing like that.
There's one thing the Rink has no shortage of. It's filmers. We have the coolest filmers, and you know what's cool about these filming people? And I'm not in that world. But like even 905, he's a shooter. He's a shooter. He's a filmer and stuff.
Shooter Dean.
Oh yeah. But for the winter one, I had maybe 10. Okay, on my own side, just for my own self, I had 5 photographers and videographers.
Yeah.
But Nelk had 3. Everyone had 3.
No shortage.
You know, Canadian Party Life had. And the sponsors had. Everyone brought their own. So at the end, I have a Dropbox from that tournament of 30 different people, and they all captured it different. It's all cool. That's a really cool thing about videography and filming and photography. It's different. You think it's all the same. Everyone had their own unique views. But yeah, it's going to be the most
that event. You're just going to have fucking like
everyone and all these people have their own teams that that come with their own film and stuff.
That'd be me and Nikki with like an iPhone. Just
we're bringing in a guy. We're bringing in a guy.
That's what Apple did. The Apple's concept was shot on the iPhone. That campaign, they used the Rink to take cool hockey shots on the iPhone.
Yeah,
should bring a Polaroid. That'd be kind of cool.
I like
cool.
Polaroid.
But
yeah,
it's
cool.
thing.
There's something cool about it. That
99
the after movies for that are going to be wild.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool ones if you guys want to check out, like from the winter tournament. Each guest,
I watched a few off.
They're on YouTube, and they've all posted their own recap of it. Like even Josh Richards, he did a YouTube video about the tournament, his experience with it, and like he documented it. Like we're winning by 1, we're losing by 1. He toe dragged someone, like one of his only highlights, but he put it in there.
I didn't realize how
I'm just kidding.
Big, how big of a hockey guy he was.
He's a big hockey guy.
Because I saw he was at, like, our buddy plays on Florida, and I saw he was at the games, like cheering on the Panthers.
Yeah, well,
and
he also works at the NHL. He's an NHL ambassador.
I didn't know
He's hired
that.
by the NHL. He's very high up in the NHL.
Cool.
NHL does a lot of work with him just to promote the game.
Yeah, that's a good.
It's smart
good
on
guy.
them, too.
I didn't know he was
It's
Canadian.
100%. It's 100% smart on them. We happen to be in a world right now where, for better or worse, it's on social media.
Yeah.
I don't love social media. Like sometimes I like to just delete the app off my phone, and it's the most peaceful time I get in life.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's amazing.
But that's the way the world works. You got to roll with what you got.
Yeah.
So it's good on the NHL, but the NHL should really, and I do a lot of stuff with the NHL. Like they've posted the Rink 6 or 7
recently.
times. They do it a lot. They
Yeah.
do it a lot. And Bleacher Report, they all do it. But the NHL should, if I was giving advice, they should get Nelk on there because Nelk is really big too. And they're
That's
also
what UFC's done.
Look how well
UFC's
it
done
worked for
fucking
UFC.
amazing with that.
You know, they got to be using Nelk. And people need to wisen up and be more strategic to what works for them. Like I do it with the Rink, and it's great for me.
Why don't they though? Is it just like a power trip?
Well, they
like
finally Biz and I had this
Look
conversation
at the
with
guys. Like I just met him the other
I had
day.
a conversation with one of our buddies who plays.
They may be there.
With Evie.
Yeah.
And so he plays in the NHL, and we were saying like Biz might be one of the best things that's happened to hockey in the last decade.
I know,
just
because he's a great
drawn
personality,
so many
and he's
eyes.
on NHL TNT.
Yeah.
Right. So that they're supposed to be growing the game more than they
Yeah,
are.
they are.
And they're doing well. They're doing well with growing it, and that's what we like to see. Like I want to see hockey grow the same way basketball grows,
Yeah.
right?
He DM'd me like 2 years ago and was like, I can't believe that Wayne and Biz are like
Wayne
on the same
Gretzky and Biz
I
and Ed
know.
are on the
Who
same
the hell
panel.
would've
This
thought
guy's
that
got a
thing?
shaved head, but every
It's good
time he's on like
content.
TNT, he goes viral.
Yeah.
Because he's just a character.
Yeah, they're fans of the Rink.
Yeah.
I met him, and they knew all about the Rink. And sometimes they like our stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Biz needs to go out there. I can one-on-one
Yeah, we
with
gotta
Biz.
get him out.
Yeah.
Petition for Biz to come to the Rink.
There's a lot of hockey guys that play lacrosse too. That we could kind of figure something out with that maybe.
Yeah.
John Tavares.
Johnny T. Yeah,
Well,
a
you
bunch
know
of
his
guys.
uncle, right? Or no?
Johnny T's uncle is like the best lacrosse player of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he play lacrosse, John Tavares?
When he was a kid, Mississauga, Tomahawks, back in the day. There's like 20 NHL players that like Kirby Doc I think play lacrosse. Shanahan's.
Yeah. Didn't Sagan do it?
Yeah.
Sagan played
Supposedly
lacrosse.
it gets your hands good, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Gretzky played lacrosse. Like
yeah.
a lot of guys.
It's
Gretzky
good for
played
the
lacrosse
hand,
and-
like to play lacrosse and stuff.
Biz and
Yeah.
Ed
Yeah,
have
Yeah,
all-
we get lacrosse on the Rink.
Yeah.
The cool thing about the Rink is you get anything out there.
Yeah.
You get whatever you want out there. It's a
sports court.
sports court. It's not only hockey, and the basketball is going to be really cool, but lacrosse would be cool also.
Yeah.
We do a lot of figure skating. We've had some top figure skaters of Canada come out there.
Yeah.
You know what I find cool about the Rink? This is like such a random comment that won't make sense, but it makes sense to me.
I love
Hey,
it.
fuck, man.
Someone will come to the Rink. Like I swear, you guys will come to the Rink. You'll come for the tournament, and next thing I know, you're the biggest podcast. Like
well,
that's
fuck,
always
I
that's
hope
always
so.
how it goes.
Thanks.
We have a luck. The rink has a luck. Like
Fingers crossed.
when I was in high school, I used to be best friends with Bianca Andreescu, the tennis player.
Yeah, yeah.
She was on the rink, then she wins the U.S. Open. Nelk was on the rink. I mean, they were
They
big,
blew
but
up,
like then they
though.
meet Trump and they all of a sudden crazy. Everyone, there's so many different
Good times
stories.
ahead.
I could say like. Good times ahead.
That's the Rink of Dreams, man.
The ring, look, dreams come true. The
come
ring
true.
of dreams. That's
That
what we
should be
try
like
to do.
the center ice slogan.
Yeah.
Dream
good
big,
luck
And
charm.
dream
good times
big.
are ahead there.
Did you put in any like loonies or anything like that in center ice or
We
like
could.
Toonie?
We could, honestly, next year we could do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the specific, like, we haven't even talked about the specifications and stuff and like the things that go behind this rink, but
Yeah.
but yeah, we could put a Toonie. It's a liner that we put under. It's like there's chillers and then concrete and then liners and stuff. And
You have red line, blue line.
red line, blue line, Leafs logo. Someone messaged us.
That's
the
fucking
the
so
funniest
funny.
thing. Maybe I won't say the story, but he had he had something cool for us to put on the rink and whatever. We get really cool messages and like really good connections from everywhere for it.
That's awesome.
We gotta finish up soon. Is there anything else you want to touch upon, or
I'll say as a last note that all eyes should be on this basketball tournament, the Canadian Classic with Six Buzz.
Let's fucking go.
Everyone listening to watch the tournament because your boys are going to be there and they're going to be there in a big way. You guys are going to be covering it, but I'm going to be there and hopefully the people that watch you guys, maybe they like my vibe and maybe they're going to be a fan of me now.
Yeah,
I think they
I'll
will.
be
I
there.
think they will. I think they will.
See, I'm loose.
It's
Like,
just
I'm,
one of
not,
the-
I'm not that calculated. Like
Yeah.
even
Oh,
though I
God.
had some stuff I wanted to talk to, I'm very loose with it. Like,
Go with
the flow, man.
I'm like to be just speak off topic and like speak offhand and stuff like that. That's the best way to live. Like that's the
It
best
is.
way. Like,
Go with the flow.
But
Yeah.
as a last note, that watch the tournament, stream it, follow it. All your favorite, whoever your celebrities you like. If they're Canadian, there's a good chance you're going to be there, and it's going to be cool. That's going to be a cool thing to watch out for. And it's a cool concept that's new, right? So obviously you know about different like tournaments and different, like, you know, the sports world. If I said watch the Winter Classic or something, you know what that is. But you got to support something new that's just starting out. That's going to be really cool. And you're it's going to be like the
Moving
ground floor
forward,
of
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, like you could say you watched the first one, right? Like that's
For
cool.
sure. And what's the IGs again? Or
Yeah,
Okay.
drop your handle.
Drop
Personal
Drop
and
mine.
all of them.
Sometimes I like personal
Yeah,
clout.
yeah. Drop it.
Actually, don't even follow the Rick. Just go straight to me. I'm Alex Weiss, Weiss
We'll put it up,
71.
too.
Put it
Well,
up
we'll put it
right
up.
there.
Yeah.
Like, you know
I'm
the
not gonna
old
point,
time-
'cause I have
the
no idea what
old
it's
days of
gonna be
YouTube.
up.
Like, this is my handle. This is the comment, rate, subscribe, like whatever. But yeah, follow me. And whenever someone follows me, go straight to my head. I love that stuff. Like, I don't have a lot of followers, like on a personal, like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or something. But I feel like a celebrity because it's people I don't know. Like if one
Yeah.
person follows me and messages me, cool Rink, I love it. We're best friends now.
Let's
You know what I
go.
mean? I'm like, in my head, I'm at that level. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm very famous and we're talking about 10 people. Like whatever. I love
Imagine
that stuff.
post tournament.
It's always an
I know.
icebreaker too.
Well, how do you think I was feeling on the winter one? All of a sudden, my Instagram, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
I couldn't use the phone. Like I had to log out and have a separate phone just for that because I had maybe like 100,000 notifications, maybe 500,000 notifications. Everyone. And you know what's funny? People were messaging me, "Are you in Nelk and stuff?" And I
You're like,
messaged
one day.
every single one back. Yeah. I'm very much in Nelk. I'm gonna be on camera, like obviously not, but I love to just hype it up
Yeah.
like that, right?
I'm
Like,
for
taking
sure.
Jimmy Gamble's.
yeah, Gambles is really, he's a big fan of the Rick. Like he's really funny.
Yeah. He seems like a really funny
He's
dude.
one of the funniest people. But
Yeah.
yeah. So as a last note, get hyped for the tournament. Get excited for it. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be a big thing in Toronto that day.
Big
Hell yeah.
Canadian thing. Big
Yeah, and if
Canadian
anyone
thing.
out there has ideas and stuff, or people, people that should come or not come or whatever, message me.
Reach
and,
out.
Yeah.
Reach out. We're gonna make it cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Right?
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you
Well,
for
Thank
coming.
you guys so
man.
much for
I'm-
having me. You guys are easy to talk to, and it's a great. I didn't even say I'm a fan of the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you
We
very much.
appreciate that.
You
We
guys are
appreciate
really
that.
good at what you do.
Thanks,
And
bro.
remember, there's always good times ahead.